And right now we're going to get out and talk to a gentleman that'll tomorrow night at this time getting ready for a big ball game, the final home game for the Aztecs during the regular season, and this will be their final home game of the year. They won't start up again until next November when they're back with 12,414 watching Aztec basketball. So if you don't have a ticket for tomorrow night's game between Air Force and San Diego State, get ready for next year. Go online to Aztecs.com, GoAztecs.com, and you can get season tickets for next year. But right now, Mark Fisher, assistant basketball coach Aztecs, joined us on the Western Exterminator Hotline. And, Mark, great to have you. We talked on Friday night, and you guys had been off a couple of days, and I know you had a dynamite practice on Saturday from what I heard when I was at the Viejas Arena on Saturday night.
Yeah, we had two really good ones, Coach, over the weekend. The guys were well rested and recuperated, as you noticed. The legs looked to lose a little steam at the end of the New Mexico game, and I think the 2 days off helped. We've had 4 days to prepare for a very unique and talented offense, and I'm hopeful that the 2 extra days, normally we get 2 prep days for a conference game, but with the bye we got 4, so I'm hopeful that works to our advantage.
You know, the Falcons got you up there 70-67. They shot the absolute lights out in Clune Arena, considering that arena is basically a bandbox, and the fans are on top of you. You guys really kind of faced an uphill battle most of the day. I remember listening to that game on the radio, but they really shot the ball well. I would think if you guys get them in your home arena, you ought to be able to have that home crowd and a little time off to rest and get after it. I would think you guys would be ready to roll tomorrow night.
I think so. I think it always helps in terms of preparation when a team got the better of you in the previous meeting. I don't think it matters once the ball goes up and the lights go on, but I do think it helps grab the attention of guys who have a lot of confidence and pride when they got bested by their opponent. As you said, they shot the lights out. That's kind of been their trademark at home, Coach. They've shot the ball really well at home, and they've struggled a bit on the road, which is why I think they've only won 1 conference road game. So we got to, in my opinion, the first 4 to 5 minutes will be really crucial. We've got to make sure our defense is tight and that we don't give them anything easy to get any confidence. We got to make them earn their first few baskets and hopefully set a tone that it's going to be a long day for them to try to score.
You know, Mark, Sunday I sat down at my little table, and my wife was working Sunday, and I sat down. I had the Padre game on television, really didn't watch much of it. I listened to it more than I watched it. But, you know, I was writing down stuff for the show last night and for tonight, you know, getting prepared for the week, and I was really amazed. Boise State, the team that you play on Saturday, they're actually tied with you guys for 4th place going into tonight.
They are, and I got on mute right now. They're up 9-3 on UNLV in a huge game. So Boise's very good, as is Air Force. I think the Air Force is probably on the wrong side of the bubble right now, whereas Boise's probably on the right side after a great win at home against Colorado State. Boise is another one of those teams. Like Air Force, they've been terrific at home. They've only lost 1 game, an overtime loss to New Mexico at home. But they've struggled to find their way on the road. But as Aztec fans know, it took a last-second shot by Chase Tapley for us to beat them. They are extremely talented, very skilled, and they will be a tough out up in Boise.
You know, and I mentioned to you Friday night when you were on that I had Jerry Palm on, you know, the guy that does all the RPI stuff and, you know, is the so-called guru along with Joe Lenardi. And, you know, it was kind of interesting. You know, he said, hey, you guys are in. No matter what the Aztecs do the final couple games, they're in. Don't worry about it. They're going to be okay. They're going to be at least probably 4 teams from the Mountain West Conference get in. And I'm saying now, it wouldn't be good, the scenario that I would throw out, but if tonight Boise State won and Air Force beat you guys, all of a sudden you'd be in a tie for 5th place. And how many teams are going to go from this conference?
Yeah, it's a good point, Coach. I don't want to think about that scenario, but your underlying theme is important. We've got a deep, talented league, and I think when the dust settles, we got a really good chance to get 5 in. I think Boise has really set the table with that win against Colorado State. They have Vegas right now. They've got us at home, in the last game on Saturday. And then we could easily see them again. So they're going to have a chance 3 games in a row to finish the season to get marquee wins against NCAA tournament caliber teams. I'm hopeful, and I'm hopeful it's not at the expense of the Aztecs, but I'm hopeful we get 5 teams in, and I think Boise is very possibly that fit.
It's really a strange conference. I mean, I look at it going into tonight with New Mexico at 12-2, and Colorado State 9-5, UNLV 9-5, and they're playing right now. You guys are 8-6. I mean, goofier things could happen. You could finish you win 2 games. Who knows? You guys could finish tied for second.
Yeah, it's crazy, coaches. And New Mexico has it wrapped up at the top, but for every reason, seeding in the conference tournament and NCAA tournament resumes, the rest of us are in a fist fight here for second, third, fourth, fifth. And it's going to be interesting. We have to focus on what's in front of us, Coach, and I think our kids have been good at that. I know our coaches have. We'll let the fans and everybody else talk about the what-ifs. We know that we have to beat a really, really good Air Force team on senior night to honor James Rahan, Deshaun Stevens, and Chase Tapley in the proper way, and that's sending them out with a win.
And I gotta look ahead as a fan. I'm looking at the Mountain West Conference because that gives you the automatic berth. I mean, you guys are going to get in. You win tomorrow night, and regardless of what happens at Boise State, you're gonna get in the tournament. We know that, but you want to go in playing great basketball. But I'm looking right now at the Mountain West Conference tournament, and if I'm Steve Fisher, and I'm not going to speak for your dad nor yourself or Coach Dutcher, but I know in my heart, if I can go a couple rounds deep in that tournament and I get New Mexico on a neutral court, I know I can win.
Absolutely, and we'd be doing ourselves and the program a disservice to think anything otherwise. I think our team, despite, obviously we wanted to win the conference championship regular season, and we failed in that regard. But now we have a chance. Our other goals were make the NCAA tournament, which looks promising, advance in the NCAA tournament, which is yet to be seen, and win a conference tournament championship. So we still have goals out there, and we are very confident that we can beat anybody in this league on home, away, or neutral. And, it should be a blast in Vegas. It's so many good teams, Coach, and it should be a ton of great games, and we always have terrific crowds, so we're looking forward to it.
And, the key, anytime you go on the road, fans, oh, wow, you're going to Vegas. And, yeah, if you're playing Vegas, that's one thing. But if you're playing, Colorado State or whoever, they're good teams. But, nobody really has a clear-cut advantage. But the real key is when you win is to get those guys treatment, get them as much rest in between as possible, make sure they're fed right after the game. But really that treatment, your training staff, it becomes huge during a tournament or 3 or 4 days.
Absolutely, and we're fortunate to have Tom Abdenauer, who's a former NBA athletic trainer. He's the best in the business. And I think it helped, and it's probably one of the reasons, Coach, that they changed the format from Thursday, Friday, Saturday to Wednesday, then a day off Thursday, then play Friday, Saturday. It's going to allow guys to rest their legs, as you said, get treatment, and then play those last 2 games. And I'm hopeful that we'll see a benefit from that for all of our teams, instead of playing 3 games in a row and then going home and trying to prepare for postseason, that maybe that 1 day off will give everybody a chance to decompress, breathe, and maybe be a little bit better suited to have success moving forward.
Well, the conference will look better on national TV when teams are rested and there aren't as many mental mistakes, and mental mistakes lead to physical mistakes. You want to put a good brand of basketball on, and that is probably a very good thinking. Hey, a final question. You mentioned James Rahan. I want to ask you about Xavier Thames. Those 2 guys, where are they at? Thames with the back, Rahan with the shoulder.
I think ex-coach, as you and I have talked both publicly and privately, I think he's in a spot now. He's probably about 85%, and he's about where he's going to be the rest of the way. He's gotten through that window of being nervous every time he twists and turns. I think it's sore. It's given him, some discomfort. I don't think he's in much pain, and I don't think it's a situation where any of us are worried he's going to tweak it and hurt himself further. As with James Rahan, he played in New Mexico. He's had a couple minor setbacks in practice this week. getting bumped on it and knocked on it, but I think he understands that's just where we're at right now, the end of the season. And he's going to play, and I have every reason to believe he's going to play well.
Hey, I will be off the next couple of weeks, but hopefully when I get back, you guys are into the NCAA tournament and going deep.
Coach, that sounds great. I hope everybody out there who's got tickets is coming tomorrow night. It's a bit of a late start, but, all of us owe Chase and James and Deshaun a lot of gratitude, and hopefully we can do that by filling the arena. So thanks so much, Coach. Appreciate it.
Hey, you're welcome. 8:35 tip-off tomorrow night. Air Force taking on San Diego State. Final home game of the year for the Aztecs. Mark, have a great night. Good luck tomorrow night, Saturday, and good luck in the Mountain West Conference Tournament.
Thank you, Coach. We'll talk soon.
There you go. Mark Fisher, assistant basketball coach for the San Diego State Aztecs.